Okay, so it is my distinct pleasure now to introduce the newest congressman from the great 27th District of the state of Texas, Congressman Michael Cloud. Just a little bit about Michael. He is a longtime defender of American values. He's committed to fighting for economic growth and our constitutional liberties and for a strong national defense. Michael is a husband, he's a father, he's a business owner, and he's a longtime conservative leader from Victoria, Texas, where he's lived for the past 20 years with his lovely wife, Roselle, and his 3 children, Ian, Zoe, and Kent. Michael's top priorities for Texas are protecting our values, keeping Washington out of our business, lowering our taxes, certainly pro-economic growth policies, and restoring the rule of law. He currently serves on the House Oversight, Committee on Oversight and Government Reform, which I have had the good fortune of testifying in front of. He also serves on the House Science, Space, and Technology Committee and its Energy Subcommittee, which oversees research in oil and gas and the American energy sector. I want to give him a warm Postal Bend welcome, Congressman Michael Cloud.
Thank you. It's good to be here. I am grateful and honored to be here today. Thankful for the work that you do. Yes, I am the newest member of the United States Congress, and having been sworn in on July 10th, that's about 7 weeks ago, it's a great honor for me to serve with you and the people who call our part of Texas home. My brief tenure in Congress will benefit each of you in this room today because I've not yet perfected the art of giving a long and boring speech, so I'm going to keep this short. And I can sure you can imagine that the last few weeks have been quite a whirlwind experience. As I've traveled the 13-county district, listening to the thoughts, the ideas, the frustrations, and the solutions of my fellow Texans. Yet wherever I go, there's a common refrain everywhere, and that is that God bless Texas. We are truly blessed to live in this area. The oil and gas industry is a main stitch in the fabric of our nation. It's an essential driver to our national success for over the past 150 years. You all have made that possible. Legend has it that when Edwin Drake approached associates in drilling the first oil well, they told him he was crazy. Drilling into the ground to find oil, that was inconceivable. Yet, that is not what happened. Thankfully, drilling into the ground was a great success, and we're fortunate that Edwin Drake was crazy because when he hit oil in 1859, it revolutionized all the industries in the United States. 50 years after Drake hit oil, the epitaph of the oil and gas industry was written in an October 1919 edition of the Oil and Gas, pronouncing that oil from the United States will continue to occupy a less and less dominant position. Thankfully, this prediction missed the mark, and in reality, for the next 100 years, the oil and gas industry charted a very different path, and today is very much alive and well. The beginning of the oil and gas industry coincided with exponential economic growth and a massive reduction in poverty. The American oil and gas industry even defended freedom around the world. It was said in World War II that the Allies floated to victory on a sea of oil. Today, the U.S. energy production is driving our economy forward. In 2015 alone, oil and gas supported 10.3 million jobs and contributed more than 1.3 trillion to the United States economy. Research shows that for every direct natural gas and oil job, an additional 2.7 jobs are supported elsewhere in our economy. That's truck drivers, restaurant workers, gas station employees, these jobs that sustain American workers and families. Thanks in a large part to what you do, unemployment in Texas remains at near record lows, and the oil and gas industry continues to provide good jobs that pay significantly more than the average American salary. I'm sure you know that if Texas were its own country, we would produce more crude than all but 5 countries in the world, and this year we very well may move up to number 4. So let's rewind the clock back to 1973, because it hasn't always been that way. Back when bell bottoms and polyester remained supreme, I know a few of you out there you're having some flashbacks, but that was also the year that the OPEC oil embargo went into place. The U.S. was prohibited from exporting oil to other countries except for oil shipped to our Canadian neighbor. For 4 decades afterward, U.S. oil production declined in the face of growing consumption. Production picked up between 2010 and 2014, but that ban remained. U.S. shale production had supplanted nearly all foreign imports of light sweet crude into PADD 3 through 2015, and shale plays exceeded domestic demand, leading us to rising oil inventories. So the stage was set, and the ban was lifted at the end of 2015, and now we are living in historic times. This has been a great victory for our economy, our national security, and our trade balance. In 2016, the U.S. exported oil to nearly 30 countries. In 2017, monthly exports exceeded 1 million barrels per day. This month, Texas set another milestone, exporting more oil than it had imported. This is exactly what happens when Washington gets out of the way of American innovation and determination, and you apply a little old-fashioned Texas elbow grease. First, we can be satisfied in knowing many of the solutions lie with us here in Texas. To be sure, the path forward will require hard work. Investments in U.S. infrastructure like widening and deepening the ship channel here in Corpus is critically important to expand our export capacity. We are the spigot for crude exports, and we need a larger spigot. We're the #1 energy exporting port, and we want to keep it that way. We're committed to growing our crude and natural gas exports. Our Port Commission here is stepping up to meet those challenges, securing the resources we need to expand, and I'm proud to see that private industry too is stepping up and investing millions of dollars to push projects over the finish line. I'm a partner with you in this effort, and I'm already working to help secure funding and partnerships to deepen and widen the channel. I want to talk a minute about American exceptionalism, because some have suggested it doesn't exist, but I beg to differ. Because what we've seen is during the last administration, the EPA went into overdrive, and the regulatory impact had a negative effect across many U.S. industries. And our economy suffered for years with high unemployment and sluggish growth. But you guys, the oil and gas industry, responded in a way that Washington really didn't expect, nor could it foresee. You all innovated. You perfected new technologies to extract American oil and gas reserves. You put America back on top. You demonstrated how America is exceptional. We thrive as a nation when we, the people, are free to do our best work. And so Texas continues to lead the national economy, and it's largely because we're business friendly. We recognize that when Texas businesses thrive, Texans thrive, and the nation as a whole prospers. And that is the message I bring to Washington, that Washington could use a lot more of Texas. Washington should look at Texas and learn how we have prospered and adopt similar common sense approaches to everything, including taxation, regulation, and freedom. Massive amounts of natural resources remain untapped because the federal government owns and poorly manages the land they're under. We'll be working to change that. We must modernize our trade partnerships without creating barriers for American exports. We need to update NAFTA. It was signed before the age of e-commerce, and we need to make sure we're getting the best deal we can for the American people. Finally, we need to take care of our energy infrastructure. We cannot limit the infrastructure conversation to roads and bridges, because American people depend on your ability to move your product. Just last year, we saw the importance of having a strong energy infrastructure when the Texas oil and gas industry led the Hurricane Harvey recovery and helped our region bounce back. So putting this all together, why is this important? It's not just great for our economy in the state of Texas. This industry is critical to advancing American interests across the globe. Everyone in this room knows the world runs on energy. It runs on oil and gas. Our ability to expand our oil and gas production and exports will ensure that our friends and allies across the globe are not held hostage by nations like Russia, who in the past has used their dominance or our energy independence to undermine our global interests and the principles of liberty that we share. As an exporter of oil and gas, we're not only making a positive impact on our trade balance, but we're taking a major step in making the world a safer place. A strong domestic oil and gas industry is vital to our continued success as a country. and what you do is enhancing American independence from foreign countries. You're the ones who keep American money and investments in the United States, and you help our trade balance. A strong domestic oil and gas supply not only keeps prices stable for American consumers, but it keeps the lights on for our families and our economy moving forward. So thank you for what you do. Thank you for the invitation to join today. I look forward to serving you and continuing to represent you in Congress. God bless you. God bless your efforts. God continue to bless our state and the United States of America.